Sometimes, the creator was looking for one thing, however discovered something altogether different. Discover how chance assumed a function in a portion of the world's most prominent developments. At times, virtuoso shows up basically by some coincidence, not by decision. That clarifies why the absolute most prominent developments occurred coincidentally. Sometimes, the creator was looking for one thing, however discovered something altogether different. Discover how chance assumed a function in a portion of the world's most prominent developments. Accidental inventions that changed the world. Number 10. Sticky notes. Clingy notes are simply little bits of paper used to help advise you that your medical checkup is coming up or that your schoolwork is late after tomorrow. We're all blameworthy of utilizing them, however it's because of a mishap that we are sufficiently fortunate to have them. In 1968, Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was endeavoring to make a super strong glue. Rather, he coincidentally made a feeble, pressure-delicate cement. In 1974, Art Fry, a partner of Silver's, figured out how to utilize the glue for his own purposes. The little clingy notes at last began to pick up footing, and the rest is history. The notes are presently sold worldwide and come in different shapes and hues. Number 9. Velcro. In 1941, Swiss designer Georges de Mestral went for a comfortable walk through the forested areas with his canine. At the point when they got back from their walk, he saw they were secured with little burrs. He contemplated the burrs in order to determine how they adhered to apparel and hair so effectively, and he found that the little snares on the burr permitted it to stick to small circles of texture. De Mestral concocted the brilliant thought of making a two-sided latch with solid snares and circles. He named his creation, Velcro, which is really the name of the organization and not the overall term for snare and circle latches. Number 8. Chocolate chip cookies. One of the most flavorful treats. The chocolate chip treat was shockingly invented coincidentally. It occurred in 1930 at the Toll House Inn, which was controlled by Kenneth and Ruth Graves Wakefield. Mrs. Wakefield arranged all the suites at the hotel, and she had gained notoriety for her delectable treats. One night, Mrs. Wakefield began creating some chocolate butter drop dew treats, which was a well-known provincial formula. However, she understood that she was out of dough punches chocolate. So she began cleaving up a square of Nestlé semi-sweet chocolate to use in the recipe. She figured the chocolate would dissolve and scatter over the treat. Yet it really held its unique structure and mollified. The treat was a hit, and she named it the Chocolate Crunch Cookie. The rest is sweet, delightful history. The first formula is still imprinted on packs of Nestlé's Toll House chocolate morsels. Number 7. Fraction matches. Matches have a long history, yet the primary contact coordinate was unintentionally created by John Walker while leading a trial in his lab. To begin with, he mixed a blend of sulfur and different materials with a wooden stick. Afterward, he scratched the stick's end with the dried material on the stone floor coincidentally. The finish of the wood burst into blazes. He realized he had made something of entertainment, so he made a greater amount of the sticks to exhibit for companions. Samuel Jones had seen one of Walker's exhibitions and was urged to set up a match business in London. Jones' item was named Lucifer's, and its prosperity made smoking increase prominence in the London territory. This in the end prompted the creation of the security coordinate, which can be found in many homes today. Number 6. Saccharine. The sugar was found in a little lab at Johns Hopkins University that had a place with scientist Ira Remsen. He credited the utilization of his lab to Russian scientist Konstantin Feilberg. One night subsequent to working in the lab, Feilberg returned home to dine with his family. He saw that the custom-made bread he was eating was a lot better, yet his wife affirmed that she had not changed the formula. Fahlberg understood that he probably moved a compound from his lab to the bread, and clearly, he hadn't washed his hands. He returned to his lab and tasted each substance around his work area. In the end, he followed the taste to a container loaded up with sulfur-benzoic corrosive, phosphorus chloride, and smelling salts, a compound known as benzoic sulfonide. This unintentional revelation prompted those little bright parcels that you see on each cafe table. Number 5. Vulcanizing rubber. Charles Goodyear was fixated on elastic to such an extent that he put his family underwater to back trials to make elastic more appropriate for modern use. In his initial years, he was ineffective in the elastic business, yet he never let that moderate him down. In 1839, Goodyear coincidentally dropped elastic on a hot oven with sulfur on it, and shockingly, the elastic didn't dissolve. Indeed, it really hardened. In 1844, Goodyear licensed the vulcanized elastic, and his organization turned into a main maker of elastic at that point. His prosperity was fleeting just like his fortune. He lost the vast majority of his cash on fights in court battling patent encroachments, and he passed on in 1860. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company was established in 1898 and named in his honor. Number 4. PlayDoh. Children love PlayDoh since it comes in numerous hues and can be etched into anything possible. This famous youngster's item was imagined unintentionally by Noah McVicker. Noah's nephew, Joseph McVicker, worked for a similar organization and found that instructors were utilizing the clay in their homerooms for expressions and artworks. Joseph is answerable for changing the name to PlayDoh and promoting the clay for youngsters. Number 3. Pacemaker. Dr. Wilson Greatbatch made a blunder that prompted one of the best life-saving developments that would everlastingly change medical care. He endeavored to make a heart mood recorder in 1956, yet a mistaken electronic part made him come up short. Rather than recording the sound of a heartbeat, the gadget created electronic heartbeats. That is when Greatbatch understood that his mix-up could enable an unfortunate heart to remain in beat by conveying stuns to help siphon an agreement blood. His first pacemaker was embedded in a patient who lived 1.5 years with the gadget. His creation has at last spared a huge number of lives around the world, and he demonstrated that disappointment is the best learning experience. Number 2. Colorblind fixer glasses. In 2005, Don McPherson was out playing extreme frisbee when one of his companions requested to get his shades. His companion was paralyzed when he put them on in light of the fact that they really permitted him to see the shading orange for the first time. McPherson had recently discovered that his companion was visually challenged. Made by McPherson, these glasses were initially made as eyewear for specialists during laser medical procedure. The specialists adored the glasses so much that the specs started vanishing from working rooms. McPherson and 2 associates later established Enchroma Labs, an organization that is devoted to creating shades for individuals with shading vision inadequacy. The organization is proceeding to consider visual weakness and how they can convey glasses to buyers with various shading deficiencies. They are at present chipping away at indoor glasses, a pediatric model, and an online test that can assist individuals with understanding their partial blindness. Number 1. Kevlar. Stephanie Kwolek consistently needed to be a specialist. Rather, she turned into the inadvertent creator of Kevlar, which is a lightweight texture multiple times more grounded than steel. While dissecting atom chains at low temperatures, she found a chain that was extraordinarily solid and hardened. She realized that strands made from this arrangement were the most grounded anybody had ever observed, and her disclosure prompted the creation of Kevlar. There are currently in excess of 200 applications for the texture. It has been utilized to make body protective layer for police powers and military soldiers, and it can likewise be found in planes, shoes, pontoons, vehicle brakes, and numerous different things. Kevlar vests have spared numerous lives from projectiles, blades, and different weapons, and a lot more later on will be saved gratitude to its revelation.